I'm Matt Bishar with REIT.com here in San Francisco at the Prologis headquarters for the 2014 Leader in the Light Working Forum. Joining me today is Cindy Jacobs, Senior Advisor with the U.S. EPA's Energy Star program. Cindy, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, happy to do it.
We talked at this event last year about the evolution of the Energy Star program over its 2 decades of existence. What do you see as the next phase of the program?
Right, well I think the Leader in the Light Forum and the work that NAREIT's doing really shows that sustainability is top of mind and really important to market leaders. And certainly energy efficiency is a huge part of sustainability, and we think at Energy Star that we've really made some strides there and been helpful in moving the market along. But there's more than energy to sustainability. And so that it would include water efficiency and materials use efficiency or waste efficiency. And we really feel that EPA has a major role there and has a lot to offer. And so we're looking to bring more of the kinds of things we've been able to bring with Energy Star to the market to help in the tracking, the measurement, and generally sustainability sort of writ large in terms of environment. And it's also a good way to tie together many EPA programs. So using the platform that we have at Energy Star to bring in some of the things perhaps that our folks in the waste office and the water office do and tie it together to help bring solutions to the market. And
what do you think still remains as the biggest myth surrounding energy efficiency that's still out there?
Well, it's an interesting question. I think there still are several myths. I think last year I talked a bit about what we would call the myth that if it's new, it's more efficient, or that technology is the answer. And I think those are still out there. But what I'm actually seeing is, I hesitate to really say it's a myth. I think a misperception maybe, I think one of the folks talking yesterday called it a crutch. In some cases, which is what's referred to as the split incentive barrier. And this really applies in tenanted buildings. And it refers to, most commonly, if a tenant is paying directly for their energy use, for example, then the landlord might not be able to recover the costs of investment for efficiency because the benefits and energy savings will go to the tenants. So the incentive is split among those parties or between those parties. And there are really a few reasons why I would call this, I'll say a myth. And the first of those reasons is that many studies have shown, and I think the folks here today who are leaders have seen this, improving efficiency in a building increases the asset value of the building. So over the long term, the owner, the landlord, really does get the benefit, even if they may not get those direct day-to-day energy savings in the short term. Secondly, everything's negotiable. So I've heard many stories where owners and tenants, or landlords and tenants, have been able to negotiate agreements to share costs and benefits. And if the payback's there, and for efficiency it often is, in a reasonable amount of time, then the two parties can often work out an agreement, whether that's within the lease or outside of the lease. And there are many ways to structure those kinds of agreements. I guess finally, the thing I'll say about the split incentive barrier is that it really applies to capital investments in a building for the most part. And what I've heard over and over again from folks is that, of course, that's an important thing, but there are many, many ways to improve efficiency and to have tenants and landlords work together in a cooperative way that don't need to involve those major capital upgrades, or that can be pieces of a larger program that may also include the capital investments.
And lastly, how important do you think government subsidies or tax credits are to continue building on this momentum regarding energy efficiency efforts, both for individuals as well as businesses?
We really believe, and I think it's proved out, that there's really a strong business case for smart investments in efficiency. And more organizations realize that energy efficiency is, or really should be, just a part of good business practice and part of what is done as a regular thing and not necessarily a one-off investment. But of course, more money, more funds for efficiency is always a good thing. And I think that rebates, subsidies, tax credits, et cetera, can be very helpful, especially where there's a new technology or a new practice involved.
Cindy, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For more on this and other real estate news and analysis, be sure to visit REIT.com.